Hello and welcome back to another video talking about updates to the game Dead Frontier 2 on Steam, which is a free-to-play zombie survival horror game RPG, which I find to be incredibly enjoyable personally, and I highly recommend you give it a shot if you haven't already or are interested in zombie survival games in general. So today we got an update on September 26th for Armor and Backpacks version 0.167, and this one's been kind of a fun one that we've been kind of waiting for in between various updates, wanting to get backpacks and things like that we've seen in previous iterations of Dead Frontier on the browser. So it's really nice to see more being added visually to our characters in terms of customization being brought into the game. So with that said, I'm going to have some background gameplay footage as I kind of go over the patch notes and what's been updated. Armor has been added to the game and can be found in level 30 areas, which is the end game location in when you're out in the world. It effectively works as the same as body clothing, except that it has extra stats for absorb percentages and durability. They can be repaired for a small fee at the outpost by talking to the trader. So this is really cool that we're starting to see armor, because that was a big component to the previous title for Dead Frontiers. You would have armor with absorb percentages and durability. So I don't remember the exact statistics and math and how it all works, but essentially you would have an item with 200 durability and say 50% absorb. So when a monster or a zombie would hit you for say 20 damage, it would absorb 10 of it and it would go into your armor's durability. So your durability would go down by half of whatever the zombie's hit was, and then the other half would be dealt to your health. It was a way to mitigate damage and, be able to take more hits while you're out there. So it's going to be really nice to see this in this game, because it is kind of hardcore when you get into the end game locations, and certain bosses you encounter can quite literally one or two shot you. So having something to kind of give you a little bit of a buffer, so to speak, would be really nice. And so, I haven't been able to find the armor myself and test it out, but it's a welcome sight, one can say. Backpacks have been added to the game. They greatly increase your storage space, but reduce your movement speed slightly. There are currently 7 backpack types that can be looted and 3 cosmetic only available from the shop. Note that backpacks can only be found from normal loot spots and not bosses. If you don't like the idea of seeing a backpack on your character but want the storage space, there is a hide backpack cosmetic option in the cosmetic areas. So this is really cool. I think it's really going to be more beneficial to the people who play their playstyles looters, and they go out into the world and they're out there for as long as they can until that one giant guy kind of comes knocking on your door and chases you relentlessly until you get back to an outpost. But it gives you a lot more storage space. And actually, now that I think about it, you could probably, for those who have the Pack Mule perk, they could probably put points into something else and then grab a backpack and essentially still have the same storage capacity they had with it. So that just kind of helps for general build creation. So that's really exciting. 68 new head cosmetics have been added to the game, some of which come in multiple colors. A random selection of these will be picked to be available in the store each day. And so I think I got some footage where I was looking in the cosmetics shop to see what the available cosmetics were available for that time area. And it also, for the hazard armor, it now comes in a variety of colors: black, white, red, green, blue, yellow, pink, purple, orange, and turquoise. And I got myself the red hazard armor, which I think looks really sick. And I put it together with a pretty cool new head cosmetic that I'm really happy with. And honestly, I'm really stoked with cosmetics in general. I'm definitely a pretty princess dress me up whore when it comes to these kind of games. So having new things to kind of play with and collect is something that really appeals to me. And the quality of the items look really good too. And it's just cosmetic, so it doesn't really mean anything, but it's really cool to kind of, build your character both in terms of stats and in terms of looks. So I'm super happy with this personally. You can no longer access the character search and private trade menus when outside an outpost. You can, however, still private trade with other players anywhere by clicking on their avatar in-game. This has been done so that you can no longer simply teleport resources across the game using alts. It also makes it harder to use private trades as a free storage in the field. I don't know how I necessarily feel about this one. I understand that this will probably upset some players, just because it was kind of working around certain in-game mechanics. But I think for the most part, this will help more than it does impair players. I'm interested in your feedback on this one, so feel free to let me know in the comments below. What does this do to you, if it does anything at all? I've rewritten a big chunk of the multiplayer code in order to fix various sync bugs. Please note that at first sync may actually appear worse because some players will still be logged in with the old incompatible game version. So just, maintenance on the game in general. There are now always 3 challenge events per cycle, 1 for each level bracket. So that's exciting. I like the events. Definitely a fun little thing that you can try and do either by yourself or with, randoms or friends. Get a group together and just focus on doing the events. It seems like it would be a good way to explore the world and see all the different locations and kind of challenge yourself. Player avatars now appear much larger in the preview and profile menus and can be relocated by dragging the mouse. So that's pretty cool, I guess. A fun little, it seems more of like it's a quality of life update. Having more items in your inventory than you can carry, an example, if you had a full inventory then unequipped your backpack, will give you the over-encumbered status effect, which makes you significantly slower. So, I mean, that makes sense. That's cool. Just try not to get over-encumbered, I mean, naturally, the game will stop you from getting too many items, but when you do it something like that, where you had 60 inventory slots, you had add 30 with the backpack, you get 90 items, and you take your backpack off, now you're at 90 out of 60. That should be impactful. And then the rest is just fixing various bugs. I'll leave a link in the description if you want to see the rest of it. It's, in my opinion, not really necessarily worth discussing. But yeah, I mean, again, I'm a huge fan of this game. I mean, I say huge fan. I only have like 130 hours at this point, but it's still a game that I am very passionate about and I'm very interested in since its inception and since I first started playing Dead Frontier way back in the day when it was like a flash game on Newgrounds. I really have a lot of, again, passion for this game. I want to see it succeed. So, hopefully if you're new here, you've never seen or heard of Dead Frontier, hopefully you can give it a shot, give it a try. It's free to play. You have no need to pay for anything. Everything just goes to help further support the developer. They do have a subscription model that's kind of like a gold membership thing that they brought over from the browser Dead Frontier version, which I again support because I mean, it's a great game made by a great dude. He doesn't put out updates all the time, but when he does, they seem really impactful and meaningful, and that should be supported. It's not just a crazy cash grab like Raid Shadow Legends, So anyways, if you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Feel free to subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Did you play this? Have you played this? What do you think about this update? What would you like to see me do more of? And, stay safe out there. Stay hydrated. Check your posture. Remember, Daddy loves you. And thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.